Breon,
Free Kane.
free him. Hang on to what I am, pretending I'm a super. It's true though. It's true. And
I actually agree with you.
Huh?
I agree with you.
Exactly. It's not. Wait, did you agree with me?
Hey. Breeze past it. Nothing happened.
Very well.
How many people do you know can survive a huge hammer being bashed on their head?
Bugs Bunny.
So
Don't
you get my
boo
point.
me, I'm right.
What in the Rick Boo is this? I have literal powers.
Screw you guys,
I'm going home.
Yo. What is going on? This is Somebody. Thanks for coming to the show again. I am your host, as always, Mr. Truth Teller, Ant. Long me get my boy Isaac, and we already got a question. First things already. Is it weird AF seeing Cross with that much hair? LOL.
Yeah.
Yes.
To you, not to me. I've seen it before.
You're weird. That's why. Okay, I'm weird too. Jeez. I knew I'm weird. But what's going on?
The world is weird. This world, this country is weird. All right.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
It's both. It's both because I don't understand. Let's jump right into it. I don't understand how you got a guy who has felony child abuse charges on him, and he's just got to go get an ankle monitor where he can't be around children under 14, and he has to be on house arrest. Whereas the guy who shot at him gets all these charges: attempted murder, possession of a firearm, all this stuff, and he's in jail right now. The math isn't mathing.
Well, the thing is, I understand why he's there.
I understand too, but still, it's really weird as a country where that makes sense to people. Where you look at that and say, we look at that and say, okay, well, granted, pedophilia is wrong, but he shouldn't be allowed to kill him. I got plenty of shirts right now. Would I buy? It depends on how it looks. If it just says Free King, I don't know.
I probably wouldn't. But my question is he still in jail? Is he not out on bail?
As of right now, he's in jail. Last I heard, he's still in jail.
Because I'm pretty sure if they give him bail, he'd be well off enough to go ahead and get bail.
That's what I'm thinking. Hey, I just Googled it. As of 5 hours ago, he's still in jail. Yeah, he's still in jail.
Now, before we got up here, I was starting to listen to a guy saying that he believes that the reason why this case is going on now, knowing what's going on. Now, granted, you do have to go and get the facts. You have to go through at least the indictment part of the case.
Yeah.
But he's saying that he doesn't believe that if this were in like a Texas or Florida compared to being in California, if you catch his drift, he doesn't believe that it would be this far.
You're talking about Kane?
Yeah,
or his lawyer?
but no, this is a commentator saying this stuff.
Oh no, big facts.
So you believe that if this were a because he's saying that because he believes that if it were in a heavier conservative state compared to the heavy liberal state of California,
that he would be looked at. He would probably be looked at.
He'd probably be freed already. We'd be up about our business and nothing.
Well, see, that's what's
I don't
weird.
agree. I don't agree.
I don't agree either, because here's the thing: we let people who actually kill people in any state. We let people who actually kill people walk free on bail, or just not get arrested at all.
That's my thing. There,
hint, wink, police officers. Just not to get into that conversation, but it fucking happens. It's shaky, but it happens.
Which is why I disagree, because, like I said, I think it's going to have to. Now, once we get past the indictment process, and we're still in this situation, then I'm going to really start questioning things, because, like I said, we have this process, we have due process,
yes,
in place, and right now I'm believing that it's taking its place right now. The rest has happened. Now you're going to go for the indictment. I don't believe that it should go past the indictment, but we'll see. So after that, then you have the arraignment, blah blah blah, the trial. If it does go to a trial, I do hope that the jury of our peers will do the right thing. But that is yet to be seen.
I told you this yesterday. If I'm a prosecutor, I do not take this case.
But you got to remember, sometimes you got to just take it, just to take the L.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
collective L.
You gotta. It's one of those things. Like, if anything, what you're defending is what you're arguing against is that Kane. Well, because like you said,
this is all right. Ooh, this is not good right here.
I know, it's not good, but I'm saying, like he shot a guy that wasn't the pedophile. I know
so that's not going to be a good look.
I know it's not a good look. I understand it's not a good look. I understand that. I do. However, it's all in the prosecutor has to fucking intend that Kane meant to cause malicious wounding to the guy he actually shot. By the way, the guy he actually shot is non-life threatening injuries.
Thank God.
So at worst, I guess it may have grazed him or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a graze, but his injuries are non-life threatening. So, you know what I mean? So he can't get him for malicious wounding or whatever the fuck. But the thing is, as prosecutor, you gotta say Kane meant to maliciously wound the guy, which didn't happen. You got to say he had intent, which he obviously did have intent to kill this person, to get this person. You know what I mean? But one thing I saw was, like, the one thing you can get is temporary insanity, because I read in the case of Gary Cloucher. I don't know if you heard this story. Do you know who Gary Cloucher was?
No, I haven't actually.
All right, Gary Cloucher is a man who, let me make sure I get this right. He was a guy who can't find. He's a guy who, what he did was he faced his son. His son had gotten abused by got kidnapped and abused by this guy who was well known to be a pedophile, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got his son, and his son, he got him to a hotel, and so when the guy was going to be arrested, the guy got arrested, Granted, guy got arrested, and then the guy who got arrested was parading through the airport, and the father Gary saw the guy and shot him point blank in the head as he's walking through the airport.
Mm.
You know, and they were able to get him off. Well, they didn't get him off. He served like a suspended 7-year sentence with like 300 hours of community service or some shit like that. But in essence, he didn't serve too much prison time because they were the defense was able to pull it up that when he heard that what happened to his son, because of it was his son, he acted in a sense of rage and insanity that he couldn't, function properly. Yeah, see, Jamie, what's that guy's name in the video? You know the video. Jamie knows the video I'm talking about. Can you give me that guy's name for that video? But yeah, and it's so that's what they could go with, but we'll see. But like I said, and then at the same time, all this reason you probably don't want to be a prosecutor. And if anything, the defense attorney, if I'm the defense, I make it all about the fact of you want to make it sound like Kane is not really like going after you don't want to make sympathy for the pedophile. You see what I'm saying? You gotta really drive home the fact, like, hey, Kane was going after a guy who had sexually assaulted one of his relatives, had committed pedophilia against one of his close relatives over 100 times.
Yeah,
according to one of the articles, over 100 times. You got to drive that home, like repeated as many. Like it was the same thing with the George Floyd during the trial of Derek Chauvin. They showed that image. Before that, they showed that image of him kneeling on Floyd's neck over and over again to drive the point home that this man did this, and with no remorse. And yes.
Jeff Doucette.
That's the victim's name. That's the guy victim. I can't believe I fucking said that. That's the guy who got shot, and he had to come. So
I got a reply on my. We're live on Twitter right now. I have a reply.
What do you got?
Vince is a legend. Also, rest in peace, Shane Warne. So sad. Like to see Vince versus Meltzer versus Sean talks crap.
Gary Plouch, by the way. Leon
and also Cornette versus Russo.
You got to get them in the same room first.
So it was. Oh yeah, you're not going to get Cornette and Russo in the same room. That is not happening at all.
No, because I remember watching a photo shoot for Cornette. And they put Vince Russo's picture up there. He says, "No, I don't." It's like, "No, skip. I don't want to get mad." Skip
I listen to Cornette on occasion, and I can tell you, he doesn't even call the man. He doesn't even call the man by his name.
Yeah.
That's how much he despises the idea of Russo.
Yeah.
I could probably see Cornette versus Bischoff more so than Russo.
I believe that would happen first. But Gary Plouch is the man who killed Jeff Doucette. Jeffrey Doucette who had kidnapped, raped, and molested Plouch's son Jody.
Oh Lord!
The killing occurred March 16th, 1984. Doucette was walking through the airport. He had been transported from, flown from California to Baton Rouge. And walking through the airport, Plouch was waiting for him at a phone booth. And as Plouch walked by, he saw him walking by. He turned around from the phone booth and shot him. Plouch shot Doucette point blank on live television. So, but yeah,
who the heck is Patricia Arquette? Who is this Patricia Arquette person? She's not smart.
What, we got a comment?
No, I just clicked on Twitter and I saw this person named Patricia Arquette. She's a blue check mark, by the way. Says kick Russia out of NATO.
Are they in NATO?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm also thinking about some congresswoman who said that representative that said Putin invading Ukraine lines up with her Christian. She thinks Russia is in the right because Putin has good Christian values and they line up with hers.
The devil is a lie and a deceiver too.
Yeah.
Let's get into some wrestling talk. Want to talk Tony or Vince first?
Yeah, people are weird. I'm sorry. I can't like.
I take that as Vince.
I gotta get this out. Like, can we?
I really don't because I'm just over the.
No, I'm just trying to. I have a sentence I want to say and leave it, but I don't know how to process it because it's so vague.
Well, let's hold off on that.
Are we fucking? All right, here it is. Are we fucking stupid?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying. By the way, I'm not saying we.
As a collective, I got you.
Yes. Are we as a collective? I'm not even talking about globally. Are we in the
United
States?
I'm talking globally.
Are we in the United States fucking dumb?
Yes.
I feel like we just killed half our fan base because we called all of our fan base fucking dumb. So
it'll be all right.
Y'all be back next week.
In a certain way, everybody has their dumb moment. And a lot of people are just unashamed to show how stupid they are.
What are we doing?
Like
anyway, let's talk Tony. Let's talk Tony.
All right. Tony Khan is now not only the owner of All Elite Wrestling, but as of Wednesday, he is now the owner of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
What are your thoughts?
I
kind of had an inkling of an idea.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that the big announcement would have been the deal with HBO. Now I do think that's a possibility. I think that
HBO
would be
for what?
Kind of how like WWE is with Peacock streaming service, which I think personally would be a bigger deal
than Peacock.
Than signing than him owning a Ring of Honor.
Well, they're both pretty big deals.
But I think it's a bigger deal because you look at what WWE has been able to do with Peacock. Their audience their numbers have grown and viewership. So their pay-per-view now PLE viewership is higher than it was when you were on the network. So they have grown their viewership in that sense. Now let's just say AEW. They start going the PLE route. For those who don't know what PLE is, Premium Live Event. And we'll get into marketing terms later on today because that's something else that really seems to really irk a lot of the internet. But you see that they're getting like I think it's like 150K pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
I think if you start showing your shows live, your pay-per-views live on HBO, then you're going to have the opportunity to reach other people. Because now we're starting to see that streaming is the new wave. Everybody wants to talk about the Nielsen ratings, but the Nielsen ratings aren't counting people like me who are in my room watching it through the app. So a lot of people are streaming now. HBO has been really popular with streaming since the pandemic, with a lot of the movies not being able to go to theater,
HBO
so they go
Max.
straight to HBO Max, and people have been watching movies that way. Now, granted, the theaters are getting back into place, but there's a lot of people who aren't comfortable getting out.
I mean,
In that sense,
I saw Jackass at the beginning of the month in theaters. So
I kind of want to go to a movie. It's not that I'm afraid, because I'm always out anyway. I
you're
was out.
always ready. What are you, Matt Cardona?
I'm a broski. But I've been outside since the pandemic. I have never been really outside of the time where I had to sit out for 2 weeks. When I was healthy and not sick, I'm outside. I was dashing. I've been outside into the thick of it, into the thick of it, into the thick of it. Up. All right, get back on track. All right, back on track. But yeah, that is something that I think would be a bigger deal. Now back to them bringing in Ring of Honor. I think that is a pretty big deal, though.
It is,
now we know that their audience isn't what it was back in 2018, right. But now the guys that really helped to bring Ring of Honor to that stage. And you know what's the biggest part about this?
We get Briscoes versus FTR.
No.
You get Jonathan Gresham versus Bryan Danielson.
No, AEW finally gets the rights to All Out. All In. Like I said it before, All In was the precursor to All Elite Wrestling.
Yes. As long as they take that one part out. You know the part I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, they gotta take him out. Yeah, he's got
maybe two parts out. Maybe 2 parts out, depending on how you feel about that person.
Joseph?
No, not that. You got to take that part out.
Oh yeah, Joseph's gone.
No, I'm talking about the other part, the 4-way with
Flip.
The one that it was with Tessa. Tessa.
I don't think
Tessa. Who is it? Tessa, Britt, Chelsea, and who is it?
I think you could lead Tessa.
Huh?
I think you could lead Tessa.
All right, fair enough. Like I said, it depends how you feel.
Now, granted, but you got to understand, and we're going to get into this again, that regardless of what you do, somebody's bound to complain.
Right.
And that's something that Vince had really said, and this is me transitioning into that big announcement as well, that Vince said while he was on Pat McAfee's podcast yesterday, which it was an amazing listen. I will say that if you're going to listen to it, you definitely have to listen to it with an open ears, just open mind. Because if you go into it with your typical biases, then a lot of what he said is going to get to the point where you saw a lot of outrage on up there. So one thing he said was that people have all these perceived opinions about him. Basically they take who Mr. McMahon the character is, and they think that's who Vince really is. And from everything I've seen from Vince, I don't see that character trait in him. He seems very low key. Because you remember I asked you yesterday, I was like, have you ever seen Vince take credit openly for all the things that have happened for WWE? I've never seen that come out of his mouth. Like, we know that Vince McMahon is the reason why WrestleMania is in existence. It is the greatest creation in pro wrestling history. WrestleMania has opened the door for other wrestling companies to come out and make money. WrestleMania, you got WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the main attraction of everything going on that weekend, right? You also have NXT Stand and Deliver. You have the host of GCW shows, For the Culture, Janela's Spring Break, Bloodsport. Ring of not Ring of Ring of Honor is having the Super Card of Honor. MLW is running the show. CYN is running the show. But all those things are the side dish, and then WrestleMania is the turkey. Everybody else making money, but that is the thing that's bringing everything together.
Yeah. I was gonna say New Japan did. I was gonna say New Japan did it first, but they didn't. Their first Wrestle Kingdom was in 2007.
But
Well,
I mean,
to be fair,
I
they
think
did have.
Starcade.
They had. No, I'm saying they had January shows in January 4th in the Tokyo Dome, but they weren't called Wrestle Kingdom. They didn't
But
call it Wrestle Kingdom. They didn't call it
but
Wrestle Kingdom until 2007.
right. But I'm gonna go the route that Jay-Z said it. This is not from my mouth. This is from Jay-Z. He said that WrestleMania is bigger than the Super Bowl on a worldwide scale. I agree with him. WrestleMania is something that brings, it seems to be the entire world of wrestling together.
Yes.
You have people coming from all over the world to come watch WrestleMania or just wrestling, period. Regardless of what 3-letter company or 4-letter company it is, the state of Texas is bringing in all this revenue because of wrestling. And that's something he doesn't really go out there and say, yeah, this is my empire and I built it. I never got that trait out of him. And so people think he's this, that, and the third. He's like, well, they think that you're not going to convince them otherwise. So I'm not going to waste my energy and convince them. If that's what they think, that's what they think. So that was one thing. Going into that, he's also announced that he will be inducting The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame.
I feel like there was nobody else better. Well, who?
I did not know.
I don't think anybody, because I don't think anybody wants Kane, Glenn Jacobs anywhere near this in the wake of recent events.
Again, Twitter's going to be mad. I don't think Glenn cares.
I'm saying like you can't really get mad at Vince for.
No, but I don't think it has anything to do
not even
with
get
what
mad,
Glenn said.
But, you know.
I don't think we had anything to do with what Mayor Jacobs said. He's Mayor, right? Yeah, Mayor Jacobs. I think it's more so to do with the fact that this was Vince's whole creation.
It was. Yeah.
This is Vince's second greatest creation he's ever done. WrestleMania is number 1. The Undertaker is number 2. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that WrestleMania and The Undertaker just... When you think WrestleMania, there's only one other person I can think of that you can argue that the name WrestleMania is synonymous with. And that's Shawn. Mr. WrestleMania. But when you think of WrestleMania, the consensus of the people are going to say, oh, Undertaker.
I mean, in Shawn's defense, they both had some bangers at WrestleMania.
But you know, the streak is just, it's there. And so the Undertaker, Vince doing that, and even Cornette said a few weeks ago, he was like, Vince doesn't do that. He doesn't like to be in the spotlight for this show, for this event. And I can't think of it. I can't think of a time where Vince has been out there doing the Hall of Fame.
He did Steve Austin. He inducted Stone Cold.
You got to be somebody for Vince to be out there in front of you. Stone Cold was arguably the number 1 face of the Attitude Era.
True.
If it wasn't Stone Cold, it was The Rock. So again, he might be for The Rock too.
Probably, I can see that.
And maybe Cena. Maybe
Austin.
Well, Austin's in.
No, I'm saying Austin couldn't induct Rock.
Austin couldn't induct Rock.
Austin could induct Rock, or Triple H could induct Rock. Probably Austin.
So who do you think would induct Cena? Edge? Angle?
I can see Kurt.
Randy?
Maybe. I can see Kurt. I think Kurt, Randy or Edge for Cena. Kurt, Randy, or Edge. I see Edge, not Edge. Christian's got to do Edge. Well, Christian
Yeah,
did Edge. Well,
Christian
Edge has got to do Christian.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's how it's gonna work. When did they stop being brothers?
Huh?
You remember they were booked as brothers for a very long time. Did they ever just like? Was that just
I
like
thought they
quietly
were.
dropped?
I don't know. Who did the Dudley? Oh, Edge and Christian did the Dudleys, right?
Yeah. And that
So
in the event that Hardys
Edge,
ever get in, I think
yeah,
it'll be between those two teams.
Edge and Christian. Well, both of
Maybe
them.
both.
Both of them.
It
Both
should be
do
Edge,
the
Christian,
Hardys.
and the Dudleys all together, and they just had that moment.
Well, they had before, but like
Yeah.
They
And
do
that would complete the trilogy.
Yeah. Because Edge and Christian as a team aren't in there.
Fair enough.
So
back to the go ahead.
So Triple H, Sean should induct Triple H, whatever that is. There's nobody else. Is Batista? Did Batista get in, or are they still sitting on that?
He's not in yet.
All right. Well, Triple H needs to put Batista in.
Yeah.
I'd say Eddie, but
maybe Hollywood. I think will be Batista's moment.
But I'm saying Batista. I mean, I'd say Eddie could put Batista in, but I don't. I'm sorry. That's too soon. Maybe Ray could put Batista in.
Maybe. All right. So back to the podcast. Another thing that really caught me.
He said one thing I noticed that probably upset everybody. He said he thinks WWE superstar sounds better than professional wrestler.
He's right.
He's
right.
He's
I don't see how anybody can sit here and tell me that he's wrong. All right, take away from wrestling real quick. Your Drake. Which one sounds bigger? Rapper or international superstar?
International superstar. Because it's what you are. I mean, you're technically both. You're technically both. But marketing wise, international superstar sounds better.
And when you think about people that are in WWE, they're more than just wrestlers. Their entire job isn't always 100% around wrestling. Things they do outside of that.
Here's the thing. They have to be more than just wrestlers. You have to be.
It's the expectation.
I know what I'm saying. You're expected to be more than that. And if you're not, I mean, they'll make it work, but
you might be on that chopping block in a few months.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. It's just like and even you listen to Mox. I listened to Mox in his interview with Jericho. He said there was a lot of things that he really enjoyed. The outside of wrestling things, the being with children, things like that. That's more than being a wrestler. That takes you into the echelon of superstardom. So the word superstar isn't just some term that, he hates pro wrestling. No. They are basically international superstars. The name John Cena reaches far beyond the name of Logan Easton LaRoe. You think of Roman Reigns, that name is going to be bigger than a Ken Dixon. It is what it is. And let's just say somebody like Gabriel Kai gets to that point. Like I say it all the time, the moment you step foot on a WWE television and start developing, your stock. Sorry, Cameron, but it goes to the moon. And again, I say it all the time. That's why I said if I were a wrestler and they offer me a contract, I'm taking it. Because whether it works or not, I build a brand. Just basically off the fact that, hey, you got to throw former WWE superstar in my name. Put some respect on that. And so now you're seeing how a lot of people are complaining, oh, AEW signing all these former WWE superstars. Well, yeah, because that's name value. And especially the ones that get to keep their names. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish.
Well,
It makes it that much easier for people.
Yeah.
Oh, Keith Lee. Oh, Adam Cole. People that works. Now, again, yeah, they're going to have to continue developing the ones that been there since day one, but bringing these names in, they're not necessarily hurting them because then you're adding people that may not have watched it. It may not be in the hundreds of thousands, but 2, 3, 4, 5 a week, and increase is an increase. So yeah, that whole outrage over the word superstar, it's ridiculous to me. What did you think of his workout regimen?
He looks great. I mean,
would you be willing to have his workout schedule?
No. I barely work out now.
Did you hear what time he works out?
I know it's like 3
1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah, no. I barely get enough sleep enough as it is.
So this man literally goes to Raw, works that show, does whatever he does after the show is over, he leaves and goes to work out. At the crack of dawn, at the crack of night, not even at the crack of dawn. Like, oh, you're 76. Go do old people stuff. Like, this guy's like, you're not human. Like, I was just blown by, like, it was a lot of the stuff that I had been saying about Vince the last few months. I was like, he doesn't seem like the guy to care about what the IWC says about him. And that was another thing they got mad about because he said that he doesn't listen to the internet wrestling community as much because they're biased and they switch up a lot. And you as a Roman Reigns fan can attest to that.
Yes.
And it irks me every single time I see it on my timeline that they post that picture from what was it, December 2018, with the entire family standing in the ring. We're gonna give you what you want, and they were like, "Well, that was a lie." It was like, "Well, that was like 3 months later when they gave you 3 of the things you wanted for WrestleMania. That was a lie, or was it that all 3 things got to y'all? Y'all still complained. Y'all turned on Seth Rollins not too long after. People started turning on Kofi as soon as he won the title. Oh, the anti-Becky people started really coming out of the woodwork as soon as it happens. Every single time we get what we want, we say no. People wanted Roman Reigns at the 2013 Royal Rumble, I think it was, when Batista won it. 2014. The next year, it was like, okay, we're going to give it to you. No, we don't want it. Seth Rollins wins the belt. We don't want him. He's boring. He told Drew McIntyre what would happen. What happened? We don't want Drew McIntyre anymore. We don't want him out the title picture. He's out the title picture, and they're still complaining. They after WrestleMania, he was still in the title picture, right? Get him out the title picture. He's doing too much in the title picture. Now they got him out here putting on good matches against Madcap Moss. He's putting on good matches with Riddick Moss, and people are still complaining. If I were Vince, I wouldn't listen to y'all either. And it's so funny because then you got other ones saying, "Oh, Pat McAfee's not asking the hard questions." Duh, he works for the guy. Would you ask questions to try to trick your boss up if you got the opportunity to interview him? Because you're smart. You're a smart man.
I mean, he did ask him that question where he got blown up in the limousine and then came back the next week.
That kind of went over my head. First of all, that's inaccurate. It wasn't the next week; it was the week after.
Yeah, it was like he came back 2 weeks later.
The next week they had the 10-bell salute and the crowd booed. And the next week was the week that we found out Chris Benoit died.
Yeah.
Which kind of went over my head for a few moments. Then I was like, wait, that's when Chris died.
Vince chose not to comment, said moved on. So
because Vince is a little he's a little smooth with how he can just transition past things. And so everybody was losing their minds over the fact that Pat brought up AEW. I was like, in the context of the question, yeah, it kind of makes sense. And he said, look, what WCW did to me, I've seen it all. It's nothing. The competition now is nowhere near what it was in 96, 97. And until somebody can literally go on Monday nights or Friday nights, go head to head, 8 to 11 or 8 to 10, and can legitimately beat them, you're not WCW at all. And you had to do it consistently. WCW beat them consistently 83 weeks.
Yeah, 83 weeks.
83 weeks consecutively. I don't see that happening within the next decade. I'm going to be fair and say within the next decade, because Lord knows what will happen in the next 10 years. Maybe Vince is still here. Maybe Vince is not here. Which he brought up the thing he said where if he were to be hit by a bus today and to kick the bucket, the last thing he wants to say is thank you.
Oh.
Just thank you, period. Just thank you to everybody. Which I'm like, this dude is soft. Like the whole time I'm listening to him, like, this dude plays like the meanest character on TV. But this dude real tissue paper right now. And I respect it. And
tissue paper.
And maybe it's because he's older. Because, when you get older, you're not as
surly as you were before.
So you're a lot softer. So he seems to be a lot softer. I don't know what he was like 10, 20 years ago. And you hear a lot of people, like, it brings back to me, like, how many people are saying a whole bunch of negative stuff about their experiences with Vince right now? A lot of the biggest issues are that we just didn't agree.
That's what Mox's main issue was. Like,
we just didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
I look back at Mox's. You just said Mox. Tommy N. He said, look, he said he didn't understand it, but he was like, we're going to go with it. Keith Lee today was talking about, he didn't say anything like outright negative. He just said that Vince didn't like my voice, which we've been joking on the last few weeks that his voice just doesn't really match what he looks like. And that was one of the things.
But it works.
It does, but then again, for you, but a lot of people have been making note of the fact that it just doesn't really.
It's the same thing with Brock.
Big Diesel guy, but Brock sounds menacing to an extent.
Does he?
Well, at least talks menacing. You don't hear Brock coming out.
We're down on Keith Lee.
Brock coming out.
I think the only reason down on Keith Lee is because Keith Lee is a big Diesel, well-smoking choir director of a wrestler.
Yes, and that's what he didn't like. He didn't want Ricky Dillard out there. If he wanted Ricky Dillard out there, he would have given the Trick Williams.
He didn't want Norman Hutchins out there?
No. We don't need Sam Hurd. We don't need Stephen Hurd out there.
We don't need John P. Key out there.
No, we don't need Kurt Franklin.
You don't need Hezekiah Walker.
If he wanted all that, he would have called a Vince Bohannon. Shoot. Let me turn those back down. But So that was one of the things because people say, oh, he said Vince said he sounded smarter. He's too smart for his own good. I don't think it was him saying that, oh, you sound too smart, like you shouldn't be smart. It's the verbiage that Keith Lee uses. Greetings and salutations. You're in wrestling and somebody walks up to you, greetings and salutations. What do you think? Like, what is your thought process if somebody says that to you when you get ready to fight them?
Well, if it's becoming behind, well, first of all, I'm going to be not terrified. I'm going to be slightly worried because I'm thinking I'm about to fight this guy, and this is how he's greeting me. I'm thinking, I'm about to get fucked up.
No, I'm confused. Like, no, what are you doing?
I'll be confused. I'm going to be confused at first. Then I'm going to be like, man, if he proceeds to threaten me in the same tone of voice, I said, I might be done.
So I can see, like, I don't 100% agree with it, but I understand the thought process of it, so why he didn't care for it. So my whole thing is, Vince has been. Let me turn it down before I get. I don't want to hear Ronda talk, but I do not agree with everything creatively Vince has, which I don't agree with anybody 100% creatively. But to say that Vince hasn't created this empire, did you know that Vince McMahon, when he bought the wrestling, bought WWE, for that first year, all the money he made went to the purchase of the WWE. So he didn't make any money off anything until after he paid it, which was over a year after the purchase began. So it's all about starting from the ground up. So when you think about everything Vince has went through, whether it be the legal issues where he beat cases that a lot of people didn't think he was going to beat, the man literally was within this close of having wrestling being killed. Like, wrestling would have been like, nope, we're done with this. With the Benoit situation. So everything he's done, and to now create this big empire, it's something to, if not
Marvel,
love, just respect.
Yeah, Marvel.
Like I said, this is the type of guy that I would study. Shoot, Tony Khan's already said he studied Vince, which is why I think when he brought that thing up about not really paying attention to what people on the internet says, I was like, maybe, because he said that he kind of had that stage where he was very self-conscious about what people were saying about him, and we're seeing that with Tony Khan right now. And I said, in a few years, I believe that Tony Khan is going to have that epiphany, and the moment he does, he's going to be straight.
I think
Tony's what, 38?
I think AEW would definitely be better for it too.
Yeah, he's 38, right?
Yeah.
So when he's about 45 years old, pushing 50, I think that light bulb is going to click to the moon. But you got to remember, he's still in his fan mode. He's a wrestling fan first. Vince is a businessman. Vince is looking for how can we market, and that was the other thing he was bringing up. Like, he brought up the word stupendous because they're marketing at WrestleMania as the most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania ever. So he was like, people don't use the word stupendous. The last person I could think of that just yelled the word stupendous before WrestleMania? Barney. Literally, Barney. You go back and watch Barney and Friends. That was stupendous. So that's not something that you just yell out. So he's saying that you use these words that people don't yell out and then start saying, And it kind of brings you to that. So I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. When you actually understand the thought process behind it.
Question. Did he beat Shinsuke Nakamura by kicking his leg out from under him, or was he working that leg the whole match?
I think he was working the leg.
Okay. Because I just looked in the background, like he just kicked his leg out from under him and then pinned him. And I was low-key very pissed off by that.
Or they may, I can't remember, but they may have been working an injury as well.
Oh. Also, shout out to somebody said it's great that they have a celebrity in Johnny Knoxville who hurts himself for a living. So, like, they don't have to worry about hurting him.
No, that's his life.
Yeah. No, like I said, I just watched a movie where, like, granted, he wasn't doing most of it, but he got a concussion in the movie. I'm going to put it that way.
He's an enigma.
Like, there's video of him being wheeled out of the hospital in a wheelchair because he got a concussion and broke a rib and all that stuff after getting ran over by a bull.
But yeah, that's all I got really with the podcast. Definitely one I recommend that you go listen to. Learn something from him. I made the statement that he said that keep smart people around you. And business-wise, he's had smarter people around him. I think when it comes down to business, Nick is a better businessman than Vince. And you see now that with Nick being there, how business-wise WWE has taken a step forward. I'm not 100% sure or not, but I think the Peacock thing was a Nick Khan call. Day one was completely Nick Khan. And just like Vince, Nick is willing to take whatever heat from the IWC when it comes to releases. Like again, Vince said, it's not personal; it's just business. He's developed relationships with a lot of these people, but at the same time, if you let friendships overtake business, then you're already
behind the power curve.
Right. Like, I don't think you'd see Vince McMahon smoking weed with Matt Riddle.
It'd be really cool if he did.
I mean, Tony Khan evidently was smoking with Swole, so I mean, you didn't know that?
I saw it Reddit somewhere, but
yeah, they evidently he was smoking with her, and evidently he never matched. She brought the tree and the roll up, and he was like, "Hey, let me hit." But that's all I got for wrestling this week. It's been very news heavy. It's a lot of back and forth between whether Cody is going to show up, even though Pat McAfee has a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, saw that.
So we do not know who's going to be the person to go against them. Maybe we'll find out tonight.
I saw Austin Theory trending when that was announced. So.
Theory is a possibility just based on what's going on angle-wise in WWE. A lot of people are throwing Cody's name in the hat. There's been some article. There's been two different exclusive reports regarding Cody. One saying that the contract talks have fizzled out, and another one saying that Cody's name is penciled in for Mania, so we don't know.
Well, before we leave the topic, matches of the week. You see anything?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you find?
It's on YouTube. Virginia Championship Wrestling. We have Brandon Scott versus Dirty Money. No DQ. If you go back and watch the match.
How did that go?
Dirty Money won. If you go back and watch it somewhere in the middle of the match, they're outside the ring. Dirty Money gives me a high five. We dap up. He poses. And right above me, Brandon Scott bashes this man's head with the trash can, and my reaction is priceless.
I have a couple.
No, because I'm not going to watch this because I got to make some money, dog.
Although before I get to mine, Colby Covington's fighting Jorge Masvidal in the main event tomorrow.
I got
Yeah,
Jorge.
yeah. Watched the press conference.
Isn't that what's his name's boy?
Yeah.
That's Bobby Lashley's teammate.
Yeah. Masvidal is, yeah.
I gotta
So,
go. I gotta go with ACC.
yeah. And then also, should be good. Should be good. I hope it's not one of them fights where they talk a lot of smack just to get in the match and just go 5 rounds. Like, I need somebody to go down here.
I need a knockout.
Yeah, I need a knockout for this.
I need
Like,
Jorge. Jorge has to make up.
yeah. Jorge, yeah. Because think about the last time we saw Jorge Masvidal on the octagon, he got hit.
He was talking so much trash just to get knocked out.
He did.
He was talking.
He said he was
talking
going to
smooth.
baptize him. He said he was going to do all this stuff, and then
Well,
went
he
in
got
there.
baptized.
He got hit so hard the Milky Way galaxy appeared around his head. That's how hard he got hit. He said he had never been knocked out in his life before there. Anyway,
TikTok is stepping their game up with some of these updates.
my match of the week is so there is a 3-part series between Kara Noir and Ilya Dragunov that I didn't know they had a rubber match. So I watched that rubber match. It was 2 out of 3 falls, and it was art. It was art. Just put it that way. Then they're going to do it again in March, later this month. It'll be the 4th time they faced off. So it'll be good. That also probably that's one of my matches of the week. My other match of the week was it was on the 1st, 19 years ago, on March 1st, was probably the greatest match of all time between Mitsuhiro Musawa and Kenta Kobashi and Noah, where the importance of that was it was the first time Kobashi had ever defeated Musawa in singles competition. So yeah, great. Anyway, transition to
United States Football League.
I think the play is going to be good, but the aesthetics are going to be bad.
I mean, the aesthetics have never really been the best when it comes to these undercard football leagues. You look at the XFL wasn't really the best aesthetically, or the Alliance. So I'm here for the how well the games are played. Now we got to remember that the quarterback play may not be the best.
Yeah, probably not.
I was hoping it was going to close the show with this, but quarterback play may not be the best. I think I'm going to enjoy more of the Smash Mouth game. Hopefully, if that is going to be a thing. Now I know I didn't know too many names. I know Paxton Lynch is playing.
Yep.
Former Seahawk. Also another former Seahawk and Alex Magoo. Interception. I don't care. Boy was trash. Did you see the preseason game? It was a disaster. I'm happy that we stuck with Gino. Because if we had Alex would go, those games that we lost would have been blowouts. At least Gino kept us in games. And we may have lost to the Jags. We'll go.
Be like that sometimes.
It is what it is.
Also, apparently, the Cowboys are going to release Amari Cooper.
How are you feeling about that?
You see, I have a problem. I have a problem of this thing called optimism. So when very questionable things happen, especially to the Cowboys. I don't have this problem with Duke. I don't have this problem with the Yankees. I don't really have this problem with Barcelona.
Oh, just let you know, Ricochet just hit a Sasuke special.
You know what I mean? I don't have this problem with Duke. I don't have this problem with Barcelona. I don't have this problem with the Yankees. But the Cowboys have this way of turning me into a Sixers fan from years past when we said trust the process.
I'm going to try to put your heart. I'm going to try to put your nerves at ease.
Because look, I think the last draft, we drafted everything we needed, and on top of drafting everything we needed, we got we got one of the best defensive players, not just rookies, players in the NFL to show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and mind you, he did all those numbers with a bad leg, with a bad ankle. Apparently.
Ooh!
That was pretty sweet.
And new champion.
Huh. Good for Ricochet.
That was beautiful.
That was pretty good. But yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
like that.
We can have that match up being the title for the title, so that makes sense.
So now we drafted everything we needed. So I'm thinking in this draft, we draft a new wide receiver.
So
you draft a wide receiver.
I want to bring this up, and I think this is going to help you a little bit.
Is it?
I think if there was anybody that you needed, because I think they're probably going to try to get Randy Gregory back. I think this is part of what's going on, because you got Van Der Esch.
To retain him, you mean?
Yeah. So I think Van Der Esch and Randy Gregory are free agents, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So your offense is set. Let's be real. Your offense.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's what I was about to get to. If I don't ramble a lot. But yeah, we don't really need him. If anything, we need to fix our offensive line.
Yeah,
that's it.
So that $20 million is actually going to really be beneficial, and then you don't have to use a first round pick to get a receiver.
Right.
You could actually use that first round pick for a lineman.
Right.
I don't know if Linderbaum is going to be. Well, I don't think y'all need a center, do y'all? Because y'all got Biotz.
Yes, Biotz. Yeah. I need to get rid of. I need Connor Williams gone. Like we don't need that.
So y'all need a guard, basically. What you're saying?
We need a guard or a tackle. Okay. Yeah, we need somebody who's not going to hold, who's not going to cost us costly third downs by holding. We don't need that.
So that's something that could definitely happen. Cooper, as great as he is, having all these great receivers on your team hasn't always been the thing that wins you Super Bowls. I can't think of a team right now that really was based off of having all these unstoppable weapons. Last time I could think of that, they got beat 43-8.
Cowboys have been working on a new deal with free agent to be Michael Gallup, and the deal is considered close per sources. There's hope the two sides can get it done and keep Gallup in Dallas.
I think keeping Gallup is probably going to be more ideal than keeping Cooper.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is dealing with a medical issue.
Well, I can say you now, we're not trading Russell Wilson.
Mr.
McMahon's in town.
Marcus Spears is convinced Sean Payton will be the next head coach.
So, who?
Of the Cowboys. Dak Prescott had surgery on his shoulder, on his non-throwing shoulder.
I guess we're going to find out who's wrestling Pat.
Yeah, let's see if I can find where they're talking about all the free agents. Our free agents are. Oh wait! Oh, OJ Howard's a free agent. It is a winner like bust for us at this point. Our free agents
Yeah.
are Randy Gregory, Leighton Vander Esch, Michael Gallup, Connor Williams, Jaron Kirsch, Dalton Schultz, and Cedric Wilson. We need to do everything to keep Dalton Schultz. Or Blake Jarwin. Fuck it. Keep them both.
Yeah.
Keep them both because they were both on fire last season.
If you keep both of them, that's another reason why I think like Cooper Go would be fine because then you have Gallup and
we have Gallup. We'll have Gallup. We'll have Lamb. We'll have Gallup. We'll have Lamb. If we can get Cedric Wilson, fuck it. We can draft more people.
If y'all don't get Cedric Wilson, there is still possibility that you can find a diamond in the rough somewhere in the draft.
Exactly.
Like that.
We can get that dude from Baylor.
We can do from Baylor.
That's what I'm saying. We ran a 4-2.
4-2-1. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, you can get that. We'll take it. We'll take it. Plus, he's long. He's not just fast. He's long too. You see how tall he was?
Yeah.
Like you see how his strides were? Like, come on, bro. That's height and speed. Like, I'll take it. The people potential to get cut is Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Lyle Collins. I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, wow. So evidently Tony Khan acquired no wrestler contracts in the purchase, although Ring of Honor champion Jonathan Gresham being backstage in Bridgeport, Connecticut makes sense now. One would expect Khan to go after Gresham and the tag team champions Mark Jay Briscoe. So
we're gonna get. So in other words, we're gonna get Jonathan Gresham versus Bryan Danielson.
Hey, I'll take it.
Right? Would you not?
I'd be a fool not to.
Right?
Aren't STP still the six-man tag champs?
Yes. Yes. Just like Rhett Titus is still TV champ. Ring of Honor TV champ. Bandito is also the Ring of ROH World Champion, but he has the new belt.
Yeah. Evidently, Ricky Stark said Paul Heyman got his hands on me, I'd be unstoppable. He ain't wrong.
There's something to that. Coach K. It is.
Yeah, Coach K's swan song.
Yeah, it's this curtain call tomorrow. They're gonna have the game tomorrow's at 6, but they're gonna have festivities upon festivities upon festivities. As somebody who had the privilege of going to Sheshepskyville when I took a tour of Durham during the week, during the summer, it was an honor. It was an absolute pleasure to be in there. I took a picture of the sign, took a picture inside Cameron Indoor, which is not as big as you think it is. It's really not. They make it look big on TV, but that and then the mass amount of humanity that fills it, it's if you look at it empty, you wouldn't believe how they were able to fit the people they do on TV. You wouldn't think they'd be able to do it, but somehow they do. Somehow they do, and it's great. It's really great.
So I got big news. This is something that's never happened, I don't think, in my time as a Spartan.
What's up?
So, congratulations to the men and women's basketball team on winning the MEAC regular season.
So they're in the tournament.
They're just number one seeds for the MEAC tournament next week.
Oh, all right.
So if they end up sweeping through both, that's be crazy. Because I mean, the men have already played 2 tournament games, two seasons in the tournament. One being the 2012 tournament, which we all know was one of the greatest upsets in 215 history. When Kyle O'Quinn and Pendarvis Williams led the Spartans over the Missouri Tigers.
Yep, final shot too. I heard. Final shot.
Last year we got destroyed by Gonzaga.
Yeah. But that didn't really work out for Gonzaga because,
I think it's gonna be Austin Theory. Theory's out in here now, so I think it's gonna be Theory. Or unless
then
Theory's a red herring.
but yeah, Coach K, he has the most wins in men's basketball history as a coach, over 1,000. I mean, what can you say? What is there to say?
The greatest.
Like, he's the greatest, but it's not even because somebody said that's Duke bias. Like, no, just look at the stats. He has gold medals for coaching the USA Team USA.
Oh,
He's got
I'm a Duke
national
clowner.
titles. He has 5 national titles in over 40 years at Duke. And he's seen a lot of people come and go. Christian. He was there with Christian Laettner was there, Shane Battier, Grant Hill, Zion Williamson, JJ Redick. All of them, all the greats, so to speak. You know what I mean? Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Kyrie came through there, Jabril Parker, Seth Curry,
Jabari
Parker. What did I say? Jabril?
Oh, it's Jabril Peppers.
Jabari Parker, all those guys. Marvin Bagley. A lot of great talent has come through there. LeBron, even who played for him with Team USA, even, had to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
So, whatever team you root for, I'm telling you, he's the greatest. I'm curious as to hear what this letter, Dick Vitale wrote a letter to Coach K, and I'm curious what it is. I'm pretty sure it's going to make me tear up. So, also apparently, somebody spent 32 days camping outside of Shashevskyville, which is outside the stadium. For those who don't know, Shashevskyville is the area right outside the stadium, right outside Cameron Indoor. And before all the home games, they get tickets and they line the tents up. The students get tickets and line the tents up right outside the stadium so they can get in first, which the student section is just standing room only. So, because they never sit down. So,
well, I can announce that Pat McAfee's match has been set.
But yeah, it's good. Duke ball. That's all I got.
Duke ball.
And
now I'm never going to clown Duke this time because this is a huge moment for Duke. By far one of the greatest basketball coaches in basketball history, not just college, just basketball, period. I mean, people talk about Phil. They talk about
Pat Riley.
Pop.
Yeah.
You gotta throw Coach K in there, dog.
You have to. It's about who's the coach of the Celtics?
Right now is
in the 80s. I'm talking about the 80s when they were winning all the championships with Bird. Is that?
Hold on.
Y'all know what I mean. Point is,
we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Bill Fitch.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on. Let's see. Bill Fitch. Bill Fitch up to 83. Casey Jones to 88. Jim Rogers from 88 to 90. Chris Ford throughout the 90s to 95. Yeah.
All right. But he's one of the greats. Point is, he's one of the greats. There will never be, and there will never, ever ever be another great basketball coach like that man. Oh, Bobby Knight, even better than Bobby Knight. As crazy as Bobby Knight was. But yeah, he was great. He was great. Also, prayers up to Dick Vitale and his current battle with cancer.
Yeah,
he's not calling any game. He's not calling any games this season due to his diagnosis. So shame.
Are you going to the show on the 19th?
Which show?
Virginia Championship Wrestling.
Depends on who's there, honestly.
There hasn't been like a big name signing. Gina Medina is going against Dat Draper. Dirty Money is going up against Ken Dixon for the Virginia Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
Logan Easter LaRose going against Bobby Shields. Logan's becoming one of my favorites going there. Joe Keys is coming back against Bohr. What else is going on here? They got Papa Don. My boy Papa Don is going against Cabana Man Dan.
Is Desmond somebody? Desmond
They, matter of fact, Desmond and he's a tag team champion. No, he's not tag team champions. They're the number one contenders.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah,
Desmond
and the other black dude. They're number one contenders.
The dudes who were in that 6-way.
Yeah,
Desmond Knight, I think his name was.
Desmond King, I think. Desmond
King. But yeah, that's. You got anything else? What else we got?
That's all I got, dog.
Yeah.
Watch the rest of SmackDown. And
yeah, I have what to watch next on my list, but I'm trying to hold off on it. But we'll see.
I'm gonna try to watch this Bel Air show, I guess.
All right. I keep seeing clips of it and I want to do it, but at the same time, you know me, I don't like a lot of drama stuff. That and from the clips I'm seeing on TikTok, I don't think I'm going to be a huge fan of Carlson's character.
I think that's the one that was really bothering a lot of people.
Like, yeah, that's really off-putting. Not off-putting, but it's like it's going to be hard to get through that.
Yeah,
I don't like watching characters where I actively hate a character and he's a big part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's why I probably couldn't get into Game of Thrones either. But anyway, thank you all for having us. Tune in tomorrow at 3. Say 3, because I get off work at 2. Actually, we'll say 2:30. And then we will be right here, streaming FIFA 22.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get this work before I go.
I mean, he says that, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Yeah. Oh, this will also be the first stream that will be in the same room. How about that? So yeah.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna get it out of here. Peace, love, and Pop-Tarts.
We will see if our friendship will last past this game of FIFA.
It will. Peace, love, and Pop-Tarts. Now it's here to drink water. We're gonna get up out of here. Y'all be easy.
Peace, everybody.